This is Donald Trump tells the truth. A lot of people saying the times we have now looks like the time we had before the Second World War. Second one, because people often forget the first one. Well, what happened in the Second World War has something to do with what happened in the First World War, but I'm not going to go in that debate. A lot of people say that, well, the fascism, the rise of extremism is like it was in the 20s and 30s. But yes, that's sometimes true. But maybe you should take another look at it. Maybe it's look like the time before the First World War. Well, Russia have spent more time now in the war in Ukraine than they did in the Second World War. And they're not afraid to lose a lot of people. But I'm not going to go in on that conflict. I'm going to get into that fact. What happened after the First World War? There were kingdoms and empires for the First World War which does no longer exist. Few people know that Hungary and Austria was one big empire. Yeah, it was. Ottoman Empire existed, yeah. And the Tsar regime existed in Russia. There's some examples. What happened? What will happen of this conflict going on now? Because I know it's hard for Trump. Because he knows deeply deep inside that America is not number one superpower anymore. The only reason why they are number one superpower is because they're working with other people and have alliances. Now they think they can treat alliances like they're treating business partners, and that's not working very well. One thing is doing business in the United States. Other things is doing business on the international level. People don't give a fuck about a lot of the rules and regulation and bullshit and scare tactics internationally. I've been on this many times. Europe is getting more united. Yeah, the right-wing extremists there, but more and more people looking for how to make more defense system and working together in Europe. Canada is brought in that mix. Japan is brought into that mix. Australia. There's so many things happening. It never comes to news. When people on the right say the news are not open for what's happening, they're sometimes right. And sometimes the right-wing media too. They don't, in the United States, they don't say to you what happened in the rest of the world. So a lot of things are going to come as a surprise. Trump was now in China. Yeah, what happened in China? He was kicking the balls. He is kicking the balls by Iran. He's kicking the balls by many. So what did he do? Then he bullied Europe and kneel for Putin. Well, people, we have still 3 years left. And the war in Ukraine not going to stop the first side. It's continuing. And it's going to be a tomorrow when Ukraine is going to look which partner they're going to have in the world. And then we'll remember who helped them, stop them all the way. Ukraine is a part of Europe, not a part of the Russian Empire. Like Greenland is a part of Europe, not a part of Trump's business associations. Now you're trying to steal new islands. All this bullshit about trying to occupy things, taking things, look like what the powers did before the First World War. Like, how can we create new colonies in the rest of the world? Well, that bullshit tactic doesn't work anymore. So, when this war is over and things stabilize, what is then going to be the part the United States going to play in it? Is there still an empire there? Not necessarily. Maybe both the Russian Empire and the American Empire just disappear. Maybe. A lot of things that happen in history. There are big empires who come and went. And even when they look big and mighty on one level, they can always fall. This was Trump. Trump tells the truth.